this morning. Kayleen Cohen of Mountain Dog Media. I think most of you know her and have been to some of her other seminars. She will do content marketing this morning. So, here's Kayleen.
All right, good morning, everybody. Can you guys in the back hear me all right? I can kind of have a booming voice if I need to. So, thanks, Vic. My name is Kayleen Cohen. I'm the founder of Mountain Dog Media. We're a digital marketing agency founded in Boulder about 6 years ago. We've been based out of Steamboat for the last year and a half. So, I really appreciate all the members of the community coming out to get to know me this morning and learn a little bit. So this is actually the fourth in a series of small business digital marketing workshops, but they are not interdependent. If you missed any of the previous workshops, you are still going to be able to get tons of knowledge from this one today. This one is going to be on the topic of content marketing. The last workshop, newsletters, is actually up on YouTube now, so if you guys feel like you need some knowledge on newsletters, go check that out. And then in July, I'm actually going to repeat my social media marketing workshop, July 24th at Ski Locker, because there was just a lot of popular demand to bring that one back. Next week, I'm going to be at West Slope Startup Week, so anybody that's planning to participate in those events, there's going to be a Steamboat event a week from today at the Ski Locker, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We're going to have a little coffee and do a little panel discussion on Mountain Town employment, being an employer and being an employee in mountain towns and what some of the challenges around that are. So if you want to participate in that discussion, please come down to the Ski Locker next Wednesday morning to join us for the Steamboat component of West Slope Startup Week. And then after that, I'm going to be heading over to Grand Junction. So if you're going to Grand Junction for West Slope Startup Week, definitely let me know. I'm coordinating all the marketing workshops for that event. I've got room in my car if you want to carpool. I'd be willing to share a campsite. So that's going to be a really fun event for anybody that runs a startup business or wants to participate in that kind of education. Then I'm also going to be doing an advanced Facebook and Instagram ads course in August. So if you're interested in social media or advanced Facebook ads, please let me know so you can RSVP for those. Otherwise, I'd love to see you guys at West Slope Startup Week. So let's go ahead and get started. Talk about content marketing a little bit. All right, what the heck is content marketing? Hopefully that is the question burning in front of your mind right now, and that is why you came out today, so you can learn what the heck is content marketing and why are so many digital marketing professionals like myself referring to content marketing as the new SEO? Well, before we can define the new SEO, we kind of need to define the old SEO. So let's take a step back. Search engine optimization, SEO, is the art of manipulating your website content to advantageously increase your ranking in search engine results. You guys have probably seen search engine results before. Maybe you've searched for something at some point in your life. I'm sure you have. And you probably made that decision based on who's right at the top of the search engine results. You didn't click back to the 10th page looking for a service provider. You looked through the first couple and then you made your decision. So obviously, if you're a business owner, this is pretty darn important to you, where your website falls in the search engine results. If you're at the bottom of page 10, you're not going to be driving nearly as much traffic to your business as if you're on page 1. So I've given you a little example here. I'm sure you use search engine optimization as your strategy to do that. Well, back in the good old days, it used to be all about keyword density. And if you were Bojo's Pizza and you wanted to trump all of your competitors, well, you could just type Steamboat Pizza, Steamboat Pizza, Steamboat Pizza, Steamboat Pizza 58 times into your website. Google will go, oh, great, they're selling Steamboat Pizza, bump them up to the top. But not anymore, because that led to some really shady SEO practices. People were even hiding entire paragraphs of keywords against their backgrounds. Imagine if you have a white background in your website, you stick that keyword 150 times in white font against your background, your user's not going to know it's there, but Google's going to see it and they're going to improve your rank. Well, Google says, no, this doesn't necessarily deliver the top quality results for our users. And that's what Google is concerned with. They're concerned with the searchee, not the businesses necessarily. And so they started changing their search engine algorithms to favor different methods of content production. They said, okay, it's not about just packing your website full of keywords anymore. We actually want to see you creating quality, authentic, helpful, useful content for your audience members with a, let's say, a reasonable keyword density, and thus content marketing. So content marketing is our effort to advantageously increase our rank by being producers of quality content and also being mindful about our desired search phrases and our keyword density within the content that we're creating. So what does this mean? Websites with more content are going to outrank websites with less content, even if they have the same keyword density. And so I've given you a little example here because I'm a super visual person, and so I have to be able to kind of see things. So a website that has 3 landing pages and 2 blog posts is going to outrank a website with 2 landing pages and 1 blog post. Because if we think about it, every single one of these pages is an opportunity for us to embed our keywords and communicate with our target audience and communicate with Google. And so when we're focused on a content marketing campaign, we're creating quality content for our audience that is both helpful and has a desirable keyword density. All right, so why the heck would we even do this in the first place? When done correctly, content marketing is going to drive customers back to your website through the search engine results, right? If we're increasing our rank in the search engine results, we're easier to find and more people can click through to our website and hopefully become engaged, potentially converted customers. Well, we also have all this juicy content that we're now making, which is now fodder for our social media campaigns and our newsletter campaigns. So it's really a win-win. And that's why you're going to hear me say that content marketing, when done correctly, should be driving traffic through search and through social. We kind of get a dual benefit from our content marketing efforts. And we get to put that content in our newsletter campaigns as well. The more, the merrier when it comes to content. So, at all of my previous workshops, you've seen a different iteration of the digital marketing sales funnel. Okay, Lee, why do you change the sales funnel every time we talk? Because we're always talking about slightly different strategies here. So what is a sales funnel? The concept here is that, oh, and that green one is red on my screen, so that's interesting. Anyway, the concept here is that not every single person that sees our brand is going to become a paying customer. We're going to lose people every step of the way, and thus the inverted pyramid, thus the sales funnel. And so what we're doing is we're talking about how we can dump people in the top and drag them all the way down to becoming converted customers. In the social media workshop, we talked about how social media is a fantastic tool for increasing our brand reach and dumping people in the top of our sales funnel. That's great, right? Not every single person that sees our posts on social media is going to become a paying customer, but they just saw our brand, they've been introduced to us, and that's a positive stride. And a portion of those people are going to sign up for our newsletter, they're going to go read a blog. Oh my gosh, now they're back on the website and they're that much more likely to convert. So social media isn't a fantastic tool for driving sales conversions, but it is a great tool for increasing your brand reach. And in the newsletter workshop, we talked about how newsletters are kind of a fantastic medium for getting people from social media back to your website. So you're staying top of mind with people and you're saying, hey, come check out these articles or these fun deals that are happening right now on my website. So the newsletter can kind of be a great liaison between social media and a sales conversion. Well, today we're going to talk about content marketing, and it kind of has a dual benefit, just like we were talking about just a second ago, where we can use our content marketing as fodder for our social media. So we're just helping make our social media better and give our target audiences more opportunities to convert and engage with us, but then we're also driving website traffic. So that's why I've created the illustration of the sales funnel that you're seeing here right now. We're driving traffic through search and social when we're doing content marketing correctly, which is fantastic. And we're getting people one step closer to hanging out on our website until they're willing to convert and become a paying customer. All right, so today, here's what I'm gonna try to hit with you guys. We're gonna talk a little bit about keyword research, landing page copy. Ooh, you've got landing pages. Let's talk about them. We're gonna talk about blogs, whether or not you want to. We're gonna talk about writing all this content for a desirable keyword density. We're gonna talk about some SEO best practices. And we're gonna talk about how to organize an ongoing campaign. So just to give you guys a little bit of an overview about what we're gonna be diving into right now. And I love taking questions, so just stop me and flag me if you have any questions about anything specifically on a slide. Otherwise, I'll take more questions at the end if you have more general questions. Let's dive in, guys. Let's talk about keywords. So, keywords. What are keywords? For the purposes of our discussion today, keywords are the single words or long tail phrases for which you would like to be found on Google. If you're a pizza company, you'd probably like to be found for Cinco Pizza or any of these other relevant keywords. If you are a business owner, this matters to you because if you're not ranked in a particularly desirable position on one of your keywords, you're losing business. So this is an important thing that we need to address and figure out together. So you don't want to be losing out on business. You want to be making sure that you're keeping track of your keywords. So I'm just going to do a quick little survey. Will you raise your hand if you know what some of your desirable search phrases are? Okay, cool. So about 50% of you have already put some thought into what are desirable search phrases for my business. Does anybody want to share one of their desired search phrases, and bonus points if you know your current ranking on the phrase? Yes, Leslie.
Website design would be one, and I know that we rank first for that locally, personally, but I'm not really sure how the term ranks globally.
Fantastic. And that brings up a great point, which is where you conduct the search is going to affect the results. And so I use a lot of keywords that have the location in the phrase already. But for something like that, yes, we want to rank locally, and someday let's try to rank nationally for that as well. That'd be awesome. So I'm going to give you guys some homework today. I'm sure that you didn't realize that I was going to give you homework, but there's homework. So if you haven't already, go home and make a list of at least 10 desired search phrases for your business. And this can be done with organic brainstorming, good old pen and paper, sit there and think, well, what would I type in Google if I was trying to find my business? That's a great place to start. Then start typing those things into Google and see how it'll populate if you start to type a word and it'll populate some suggestions. That's a great opportunity for learning because you might see, oh, I never would have thought that people would type in, steamboat, best pizza or whatever. So you can learn a lot starting to punch your search phrases into Google. You can also scroll to the very bottom of the page and see the suggested similar searches. You can learn a lot there. And then there's a great tool that's completely free called Google Trends. Trends.google.com. You can plug these search phrases in and actually compare the amount of search volume on those individual phrases, which can be really helpful to confirm or deny your assumptions. Because you might be thinking, well, this is obviously the keyword that people are going to type in to find my business. But maybe they're actually using some other search phrase to find you. And so it can be really helpful to kind of test your theories, put all of that information in Google Trends and see where is the search volume really, and how can I take advantage of that. If you find that one particular keyword phrase has 10 times the amount of search volume as anything else in your list, and you're currently on the 3rd page of the search results for that phrase, all right, we've got some work to do. Let's increase the optimization. So what I'm showing you here is kind of an example of how I like to track keywords for people. So this is going to be your homework. If you decide to, you don't have a choice. You have to go home and research keywords. And so you're going to create yourself a little spreadsheet like this. You're going to come up with 10 to 50. Just go ham. There's no harm in coming up with too many keywords. If anything, you'll find, okay, there's not much search volume on this keyword, I'm going to ignore it. So you're going to set yourself up a spreadsheet. You're going to fill column A with things that you think might be desired search phrases for your business. And then you're gonna start tracking your current ranking on those keywords month after month. I recommend that you set a little ding on your calendar, so once a month you go, oh, I'm gonna check my rankings on these search phrases and I'm gonna see where I am. And so I note this, we're gonna pretend that these are the positions. So a 3 would indicate that they are 3 positions down on the first page. A 4 would indicate that they're 4 positions down on the first page. And I don't actually have any Steamboat Pizza clients, so this is not anybody's proprietary information. And I wrote this at like 7 in the morning on a Sunday, so I don't know why I was so in the mood for pizza, but apparently it was happening. And so what I've given you here are just some hypothetical keyword rankings, but we can use this information to make really important decisions about our content marketing campaigns. We can see keywords rise and fall. For example, oh no, Steamboat Pizza, we were staying strong March and April, we were in the 3rd position, but in May, we dropped down to the 4th position. That means that either one of our competitors is currently working on optimizing their site for that keyword phrase, or perhaps you changed your keyword density and now you're slipping. So you can use that to say, oh goodness, I slipped a ranking on Steamboat Pizza. I'm gonna publish an extra blog with that as my focus keyword. Or I'm gonna comb back through my landing pages. I'm gonna find an opportunity to increase the density for that search phrase so that I can climb back up in the search results. For example, let's say that's what we did with Pizza by the Slice. We saw that we were at the 5th position and we wanted to improve that, so we wrote a blog called Pizza by the Slice. We jumped up to 4, but then one of our competitors wrote a blog about Pizza by the Slice, and now we're back down to 5. So just tracking those rankings is the only way that you're gonna know where you're rising and falling. Yes?
How do you look at it? Do you just do an incognito tab, or do you have a tool that you use?
So there are tools that are available. There aren't very many, or any that I'm aware of, free tools for getting an accurate ranking. So one paid tool is called AccuRanker. If you want to sign up for that, it's going to make your life a lot easier. However, I'm a huge bootstrapper and I'm always trying to save every penny. So I've regressed to just manually tracking these. And an incognito tab is a great way to do that so that you're not skewing your Google Analytics. And so, yeah, just looking through, taking 15 minutes to punch in your search phrases and see where you pop up once a month is going to be really valuable to help inform the direction of your campaign. Any other questions about keyword research? Kind of straightforward. Do your homework, brainstorm your keywords. Okay, next we're going to talk about landing pages. I'm on a pizza kick for this entire presentation, so you'll all be craving pizza after this. What do I mean when I say landing page? So landing pages are the pages of our website, such as the home page, the about page, the services page, the contact page. These are pages where users might land and interact with our content. And what do we have on landing pages? Well, we have copy. And by copy, I mean text. We have headlines and subheads and paragraphs of copy. Oh, fantastic, that's content. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that our desired search phrases are in the copy. We've got it, Steamboat Pizza right there in the headline. We've got pizza, Steamboat Springs in the subhead. You guys don't have to get too bogged down in the details here, but you can see how this copy is organically written to include these keywords. And what I've got down here, we're going to talk later about writing copy for keyword density, but just to kind of help reinforce the point now, right here you're looking at 72 words, 15 of which are highlighted as keywords. That gives us a 20% keyword density. That's pretty straightforward math. I'm not a math person. If I can figure it out, you can too. Total up the number of words that you have on a page, highlight the keywords, and evaluate your keyword density. So, landing pages are a particularly important place to establish a good keyword density because this is where users are going to find our pages in the search results and come back and hopefully engage with us. So I have a little anecdote for you guys about how service-based businesses can really leverage this to create some value. I had one of the very first Mountain Dog Media client, bless his soul, a dentist down in Denver, or Boulder, wherever I used to live, who called me up the other day. And I used to have him at the top of page 1. He goes, I'm the second result on page 1. I'm not at the top anymore. Why is this competitor outranking me, Kayleen? And I was like, whoa, Jeff, hang on. Let's take a look. And so I head over to I Google search Boulder dentist, and I see who pops up ahead of him, and I poke in there, and here's what I find. A services page with all their services scrolling down the page, but then every service has a call to action button to a breakout landing page for that specific service. When you hover over the services icon in their navigation bar, there are 20 drop-down pages that unfurl before us. Well, content is king. He has 20 landing pages dedicated to his individual dental services. That's 20 opportunities to communicate with Google and increase keyword density versus my former client, Jeff, who has a single services landing page where everything is listed in list format. So can you guys see the difference in value between 20 service landing pages where every single service has its own individual landing page and a single services landing page where everything is just listed in one big list? So a call to action for you guys that have service landing pages, which should be probably about half the people in this room. Let's try to break out that content. One single service landing page is great, and then let's make breakout landing pages for all of those additional services so that we can have those opportunities to increase keyword density and communicate with our target audience. So that's one little anecdote about how we can leverage these landing pages. Terry?
2 quick questions. Do the words need to be next to each other? I'm guessing not, like best pizza. They don't have to be next to each other if that's your keyword?
So with long tail search phrases, it's kind of a yes and no answer, actually. So there is a lot of value to having the entire long tail search phrase intact, but luckily Google is also smart enough that they can start to put it together if we've got it piecemeal throughout the landing page a little bit. Where we could see a lot of value, and I'm going to backtrack really quick for this anecdote here. You know, when you conduct a search, the words that you search get bolded. So it's kind of hard to see here because this is a screenshot, but I searched Steamboat Pizza. And so, you know, pizza, Steamboat is bolded for me. And up, let's see. Yeah, you can see how Brooklyn Inn is just crushing it up there. They've got pizza, pizzeria, pizzas, pizza, pizza in their in their description right up there. And so when we have that long tail search phrase intact, and that's what somebody typed into the search results, the fact that that phrase gets to now appear highlighted in the search results is going to help them realize, all right, I'm heading towards the correct destination right now. So certainly we want to try to use long tail keywords intact as much as we can, but that's going to be a little tricky to do 100% of the time. There's still value if we spread them out throughout the copy.
And follow target 20%?
So you know what, it's always changing. And it used to be 20%, now people say as little as 5%. So I like to try to hover somewhere in the 1 to 10% region really. That example that we were just looking at, and we'll go back to it now, is not a perfect example because ideally there'd be 4 or 5 more paragraphs of copy that would allow us to get closer to a healthy 5% keyword density. Because it used to be 20%. Back in the days when Google was like, give it to me, show me your keywords, that's how I'm going to rank you. But now they want you down closer in that 5% region to know that you're actually producing helpful content and not just stuffing your content with keywords. So that's a great question. Yeah, this example right here is a little too dense, not up to Google's best practices here because we need a minimum of 300 words per landing page to be on par with Google's best practices. But rather than make you guys read 300 words about pizza, I've just given you a little snippet here. So great question. Shoot for a 5% keyword density, minimum of 300 words on every landing page. So your kind of landing page checklist here, if you're going to go home and optimize your landing pages, take a look at what your focus keywords are. Highlight those keywords throughout the text, subheads, body copy, all that good stuff, and check the keyword density. So that's gonna be a really important piece of homework for you guys to go ahead and evaluate your keyword density in your landing pages. If you feel like you're getting just crushed by your competitors in the search results, it could be because they have a higher keyword density than you. What if you're down at 1%? Well, heck, you've got a lot of room for improvement right there. A lot of people are at 0% when they come to me and say, hey, I need help increasing my keyword density. I need help with search engine optimization. I'm like, well, we've got nowhere to go but up. Your keyword density is currently 0%. So go home and take a few minutes to just figure out what your keyword density is. I do that by dropping all the copy into a Word document. That works the best for me. You can print it, highlight it, whatever works best for you. Any questions about landing pages? I'm gonna move on to blogs. Okay, blogs. So let's just talk about the word blog for a minute, because I feel like it just kind of has a stigma still. I feel like some people hear the word blog and they think of like MySpace and LiveJournal and people sitting in front of their computers uploading photos from their vacations and sharing little anecdotes, and it just seems to have this stigma of being an amateur method of communication. Nobody writes anything serious on a blog. Well, I feel like that stigma is kind of changing culturally right now because unfortunately, as journalism dies, we're relying more and more heavily on bloggers and online journalists, if you will, to share information on their platforms. So don't think about a blog as somebody's personal journal. I want to encourage you to think about it a little bit differently. So, we can go back to the classic Shakespeare quote, would a rose smell as sweet if it was called by any other name? Well, your blog will smell much sweeter if you call it by another name. Rarely do I encourage my clients to call their blog a blog. Call it an education resource center or something like that. Create some value specifically for your audience. So they don't have to think, oh, I'm gonna go check out this blog on financial management. They're like, no, I want to go to the Financial Management Resource Center and find educational resources. So a blog really is just the internet functionality that allows you to easily create, post, and categorize content. Your blog is WordPress functionality. You've got a blog in the back end of your Squarespace site or your Shopify site. So really, I want to encourage you to think of a blog really as functionality. Brand your blog as whatever is going to be the most useful for your end clients. All right, so if all you take away from this workshop today is that you need to go home and do some keyword research and evaluate the keyword density on your landing pages, that's great, and I love you, and I'm super proud of you. But if you are ready to aggressively pursue content marketing as an ongoing strategy to help drive traffic back to your website, that's where these blogs are going to come into play. There are two fantastic reasons that these blogs are going to be valuable for your content marketing campaign. One is that you're going to have more content. Every single time you publish a blog, you're adding one more page to your website with an opportunity to implement keyword density, communicate with your target audience, communicate with Google. Every single blog you publish is adding to your website value. And ideally, you've been mindful of your keyword density in that blog, and it's going to help drive traffic through search. Yay! Yay! Well, then we also talked about the fact that you can use them as fodder for your social media and your newsletter campaigns. Well, second reason that I absolutely love blogs as a component for content marketing is that blogs allow us to accomplish our keyword goals one keyword at a time. So what you're looking at up here might look kind of familiar. I took some of those desired keyword phrases from my desired keyword list. These are keyword phrases for which I'd like to improve my ranking. So I'm going to write blogs focused on those keywords. Wow. So you can go home and write your list of keywords, and if there's something for which you're just suffering, that might be a great topic for your next blog post. So here's a little example about how I kind of slate this out in my mind. All right, I've got 3 desired keywords that I'm going for. I'm going to go ahead and conceptualize how I can convert those keywords into blog topics. Pizza by the slice. Steamboat now has pizza by the slice. Pizza by the Slice is now available at Pop's Pizza in downtown Steamboat. So you can see how just in the headline and subhead, I've got Pizza by the Slice twice, I've got Steamboat twice, I've got pizza 3 times. That's gonna be a darn good blog post for increasing my ranking on Steamboat Pizza by the Slice. So I encourage you to think about your list of keywords similarly. How can you pair up your keywords with blog topics to increase your rankings on your various desired search phrases? The way that we implement the keywords with the desired density in that blog content is going to be similar to our landing pages. We want it in our headlines and our subheads and our body copy. And we want to shoot for roughly a 5% keyword density there. Okay, so let's dive into the nitty gritty of how we actually draft content with a desirable keyword density. Any questions about this concept? Yes?
So if you're using WordPress, which probably most of us are, and use a plugin like Content Views, which take your blog and then create grids and subheadings and posts from there, it's the same, right? It doesn't look for the word blog in your menu or your nav head, and then you go from there.
Yeah, so if you're using a tool to reorganize your blog, yeah, certainly no one needs to see the word blog anywhere. It can be called an educational resource center. However you want to compile those and make that aesthetically engaging for your audience is going to be great. For example, Shireen just created a whole section of her website called Recipes. It's a blog, but it's recipes. So we can always think about what we want to share and how we can brand it in a way that doesn't necessarily have to use the word blog. And if you are using WordPress, which a lot of you probably are, you should also be aware of one of my favorite tools, which probably already lives in the back end of your website. SEO Yoast, Y-O-A-S-T, is a fantastic free plugin to help you evaluate keyword density on each individual landing page and blog post. So you can kind of automate that process of evaluating the keyword density by using that plugin. Add your desired search phrase, and then it's going to give you all kinds of dynamic feedback, such as increase the density of this search phrase in your headlines, or it doesn't appear in the first paragraph of body copy, or you're not using it in your image alt tags. So using that plugin is a great tool to just quickly glean how you can make improvements on your individual landing pages in terms of SEO. Yes?
I just Googled Steamboat Pizza.
Uh-huh.
The first thing that comes up is pizza restaurants map
Mm-hmm.
with 10 filters.
Right.
Is a filter a keyword?
No.
Let me give you an example. Let me just go through it. Mileage, sort by distance, open now, top rated, cheap, upscale, visited, haven't visited, good for kids, accepts reservations, romantic, beer, wine, recently opened. So those are filters that are I can click on.
Mhm.
Romantic. I want a romantic pizza restaurant or whatever. Click on that and it'll give me the word romantic. Now I don't think about the word romantic when I think about pizza.
Yeah.
So filter and keyword are confusing to me.
Okay. Well, the filter functionality is designed more for us, the end user. If you are genuinely looking for a more romantic pizza destination for your next date night, then that's a helpful tool for you. And perhaps where that could be helpful for Bojo's or Brooklyn or any of these or Pop's hypothetical pizza company that we're talking about is during that organic brainstorming phase when we're making a list of all of our desired search phrases, maybe taking a look at those filters and saying, these are the couple that really apply to me. Our business is a very intimate atmosphere in terms of pizza atmosphere, and it is kid friendly, and we do serve beer. So maybe those are keywords such as pizza restaurant serves beer can become one of your keywords. So a keyword, for the purpose of this conversation today, is ideally what somebody typed into Google. So they probably you typed in Steamboat Pizza, but maybe somebody's willing to type in Steamboat Pizza serves beer. And so that's where you can add to that list of keywords that you're brainstorming and try to increase your density for that keyword phrase.
So filters are created by Google, I assume.
Mhm.
And they see, I assume by keywords, they look for ranking of keywords that people ask for, romantic or kids or beer or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And they come up with their own list of filters that they think are the top 10 filters for restaurants, I guess.
Yeah.
They're also filtering reviews on
Yeah.
Google reviews, so that's where you're getting.
Yep. And your Google reviews are
Right,
actually gonna be
exactly.
really valuable, especially if you're a brick and mortar location. Your Google reviews are gonna be enormously valuable to helping build your brand authority online, for sure. So that was a great question. And really, I think that that contributes to the keyword research part of the process, where you start thinking about what are all the varieties of search phrases that people could be typing in, and what are people looking for. And I hear that and I think, oh, that's a great opportunity for a blog post. Steamboat's most romantic pizza parlor. Oh, we like candles at the tables. You're gonna love the spiced pepper on the pizza. It's gonna bring you so much closer together. Great question. Any other questions about keywords, landing pages, or blogs? We're gonna talk about writing content with a keyword density next. How are we doing? Oh, we're terrible. We're doing terrible. Okay. Drafting content with a keyword density. This is how I started my business, honestly. Mountain Dog Media was founded on drafting content with a desirable keyword density. I was a former journalist, I knew how to write, and that wasn't making me very much money. And somebody said to me, well, hey, you know how to write? Nobody likes writing. Why don't you do search engine optimization? I said, so what? And so I started looking into SEO, and I said, well, this is a great application for my skills. I do love writing, and I can be somewhat methodic about it. So this is my process for drafting keywords with a desirable keyword density. You might find a different process that works better for you, but I know that it's a huge challenge for so many business owners to even just write copy in the first place, let alone writing copy with a desirable keyword density. So this is how I do it. I start with a blank document, all my focus keywords at the top of my document. For a landing page, I'm probably gonna have 1, 2, or 3 focus keywords, and maybe 4, 5, and 6 related keywords that I want to incorporate in there as well. For a blog, I'm going to shrink it down a little bit, maybe 1 focus keyword, 3 to 5 related keywords. So I can really focus on those topics and make them super specific. So before I even write a word of copy, I'm going to put all of those focus keywords at the top of my landing page, so they're just simmering into my brain like a cattle brand. Fantastic. Now, I'm gonna write my headlines and my subheads. And so that should be pretty darn easy once you have your keywords up there. You should have a pretty good idea of what this page is gonna be about, or what this blog post is gonna be about. I know you already did the step that we saw 1 slide ago where we came up with a headline and subhead using our keywords. Copy paste, heck yeah. So once I've brainstormed my keywords for the page and I've written my headlines and my subheads, I'm gonna write my body copy. And all the while, I'm glancing frequently at the top of my page to see what my keywords are, and I'm doing my personal best to organically integrate them throughout the copy. Because I promise you, if you look at your website, if you look at one landing page and you say, oh, I've got a 1% keyword density on this landing page, I need to get it up to 5%, and you just start trying to stuff keywords into the copy that already exists, it's gonna get real ugly real quick. It's not gonna read very well, it's not gonna sound very organic, it's gonna sound like you were keyword stuffing. Just kind of a bummer. So I like to start from scratch, and I like to just integrate them organically from the get-go. Ideally, I overuse them, so I have to strip away a few keywords to get back to my 5% keyword density. Stripping them away is gonna be a lot easier than stuffing them into content that already exists. So this is the process that I highly encourage you to use for writing your landing page copy and writing your blog copy. When you're all done, do what we already talked about, highlight those keywords, and evaluate your keyword density so that you know that you're not at 20% like this example here. Okay. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. All right, so once you have that finished draft, you're going to analyze your keyword density, and you're going to decide whether you need more or less keywords. Then you're going to pat yourself on the back, and you're going to be super stoked, and you're going to publish that content. All right, guys, we're going to move into a little bit of kind of wrap up here. There are really 2 things that you can do after this workshop today. You can do the minimum, or you can do the most. So you can kind of pick your track right now. If you're going to do the minimum, this is what I'm asking you to do. And I'm addicted to checkboxes, so I gave you checkboxes because you need to check these boxes, right? you guys are gonna like just go to the max, you're gonna come up with 50. And I'm also extremely proud of you. Note your current ranking on at least those top 10 desired search phrases. You need to know where you are on those phrases right now so that you know whether or not there's room for improvement. And I promise you there is. Unless you are the #1 top result for every single one of your desired phrases, there's room for improvement, okay? Then review all of your landing pages for the SEO best practices. A minimum of 300 words of copy per landing page. You would be shocked how often this is not the case. So many times I go to people's websites and I find 150 words of copy on a landing page. It's not enough. We need at least 300 words with a desirable keyword density to communicate with Google. So we're also going to be looking for that desired keyword density in headlines, subheads, and body copy. Here I've said 5 to 20%. Like I said, 5 is kind of the industry standard right now. I think it really depends on how fierce the competition is for your keywords. Google's not going to penalize you until you pass 20. So you can go all the way up to 19% keyword density and give that a try. 5% is really the recommended. Okay, so this is for you, you minimum achievers. I'm gonna be so proud of you if you do all of this. That's gonna be a great takeaway. For the maximum achievers, you're gonna organize an ongoing content marketing campaign to continuously drive traffic back to your website through search and social and newsletters. And here's part of the way that I do that. I organize myself a little spreadsheet where I have the month, social media topics, blog topics, newsletters. For the couple of you guys that actually are my clients, this is probably going to look somewhat familiar because this is a document that we share and work on together, coming up with these topics for all of our upcoming campaigns. So you can see that I took all those blog topics from just a few slides ago. I've made some concepts for corresponding social media boosts that I can do, and then I'm also going to send out newsletters that feature that content and some sort of promotion for my business as well. You can start to plan out your content schedule 3 to 6 months in advance. How amazing would it be if instead of waking up on the 15th of the month and going, oh gosh, I really gotta get a blog post out this month, I really gotta get a newsletter out this month, I haven't posted anything on my social media, oh crap, what am I gonna do? Check the spreadsheet, see what you were supposed to do. Make your life easier. I'm all about planning things in advance so that you're not grasping at thin air trying to come up with something to post or publish. So having some sort of system for yourself to organize that, and again, corresponding those blog topics with your desired search phrases so that you're accomplishing your SEO goals, you're populating your website with blog content, you have great, valuable information to share on social media and in your newsletter. Congratulations, you are running a successful content marketing campaign when you have done all of these things. So the homework for you overachievers is going to be to create a content calendar and start populating ideas based on your keyword research for the next 3 to 6 months. I promise you can do it. That speaks to a topic. If you've been in any of my previous if you've been in any of my previous workshops, this next part is going to sound a little bit like a broken record. Make a schedule you can stick to. Don't promise yourself that you're going to publish weekly blogs and weekly newsletters if that makes you want to puke off the balcony. Come up with a schedule that's going to work well for you. Start with 1 blog and 1 newsletter a month if that seems like all you can bite off right now. And when you've done that successfully for 6 months, if you think you can ramp it up to twice a month, go for it. I'm super proud of you. But I really don't like it when people overcommit, because here's what's going to happen. If you say you're going to publish weekly blogs and newsletters, you're going to do it the first week, and then the second week's going to roll around, you're like, ugh, I don't want to do it. And you're going to put it off, and you're not going to do it. Then the third week's going to roll around, you're like, well, I already blew it off, like, nah. And it's just going to go by the wayside. If you can stick to a routine that actually works for you, that's obviously going to be way better. Leslie?
What do you think is like the sweet spot for frequency of a newsletter so people don't unsubscribe? Because I feel like if I wrote one once a week, I'd be worried that people would stop following. So what's your recommendation?
That's a great question. And here's the answer. Quality. How much quality can you provide? When your quality starts becoming diluted, slow down. Less output, more quality, less output. So if you can come up with stuff that people want to read every single week, then heck yeah, send out a newsletter every single week. And I could actually see that going well for your business, because how to enhance the security on your website, how to improve your SEO, how to interact with this new plugin we just installed for you. There's so many fun things that you could say that would actually have value for your target audience members. But if that's starting to become really diluted and click rates are starting to drop, yeah, your frequency is too high. So set a schedule that you can stick to that's gonna allow you to publish quality content. Quality is always gonna be king here. Yeah?
How do images and video work in business?
Yeah, great question. And I actually kind of glossed over my little bullet point about that on the landing page section here. So his question was about how images and video affect our search engine optimization. And here's something that we were just talking about yesterday, right? An image of text means nothing to Google. If you have an image with a paragraph of text in it because you wanted it to be a certain color, or you wanted it to be a certain font, you couldn't figure out how to do it through your website CMS, so you did it in Photoshop really quick and you pasted that image into your website. Google sees image, they don't see any of that text in there, and so you're losing, you know, you're just not gaining any search engine value. But we have these beautiful little things called image alt tags, which were originally created to for oral dictation softwares for persons with disabilities, so that they can have the website read to them. Well, a website reading software is going to read photo, and then it's going to go on its merry way, unless we provide an image alt tag which says, this is a photo of something super groovy and important, this is my keyword phrase right here. So we can add keyword phrases into our image alt tags, suddenly giving our images some SEO value. Otherwise, they're not going to have much SEO value sitting there. Videos are just so enormously engaging and important these days. If you have any bandwidth to produce videos, it's going to be advantageous for you. Upload those videos to YouTube, Google, they are friends. You will get rewarded for having content on YouTube that's going to increase your search engine value. And then if that content is embedded on your website, it's just going to be something more for people to engage with. So I'm a big fan of embedding those videos. If you have images, comb through all your image alt tags and make sure that your keyword phrases are in your image alt tags. Yeah?
For the, video tags, would the tags be in YouTube and they automatically get shared on your website, or do you reformat on your website?
So that would depend on your formatting, but usually a video embed is just going to be that video. Just a little video screen right there on your computer. But you want to have those desired search phrases in the description for your video on YouTube. A lot of people might just be searching videos. They might not even be searching websites trying to find something. If they're trying to find a helpful how-to or learn more about backpacking gear, they might be on YouTube, not even on Google main. So having those search phrases in the description for your video content is going to be really valuable. Great question. Other questions? All right, so a few resources for you guys. Copyblogger.com/blog. I love Copyblogger. I've been following them for 6+ years, ever since someone introduced me to the idea of SEO. They have tons of great resources about creating keyword-rich, engaging, authentic, frequent content for your website. HubSpot, also killer resource for this kind of stuff. Really all things digital marketing, HubSpot is going to be a great resource. And then I also, if you're more of a podcast person, check out the Online Marketing Made Easy podcast. She's going to talk a lot about creating content, and that is one of my favorite podcasts for getting inspired about this kind of stuff. So definitely go check out Copyblogger, HubSpot, and the Online Marketing Made Easy podcast. Alrighty, and lastly, like I mentioned at the beginning, this is not your last opportunity to hang out with me. Come hang out with me next Wednesday morning for the West Slope Startup Week Mountain Town Hustle event, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Ski Locker. That is 1 week from right now. I will be in Grand Junction the 6th through the 8th for West Slope Startup Week. I'm hosting the entire marketing track. I will be presenting 1 workshop on the panel for 2, and there are 5 other marketing workshops. There are also fun tracks, capital, everything startup related is gonna be happening at West Slope Startup Week. If you wanna carpool, let me know. I'm gonna repeat, back by popular demand, social media marketing is coming back Wednesday, July 24th. We're gonna go back to the nighttime, 6 to 7:30 p.m. on that one at Library Hall. And then my advanced Facebook and Instagram ads course is gonna be a 5-hour intensive on Saturday, August 3rd at the Ski Locker. I'm asking a $50 registration fee for that one because we are gonna get down and dirty into your ad campaigns during that workshop and actually make some adjustments to your campaigns and your target audiences and all that great stuff. So shoot me an email if you'd like to RSVP to any of these events. I'd love to see you there. If you didn't sign in on the little sheet in the back, please do that for me before you disappear. That'd be awesome. Any other questions while we wrap this baby up? All right, thank you guys. Have a